da if ya da openema ne bosme da etoso edu enkron wa fimpinu ni eduonu enum adeshima mba mo bibia aha mawa kwaba edeba Cstv news at 24 esom renaso say sema etwego omanmu manhodo asono ya de ebedan mo se kase ne nsem no yanhwe de ebedi mu tintima ankasa Some can say Penifo Eden Crata Aqua US abai no senior bear Peninsula for no use so it to me about or my na attending so it's me apostle na face so NDC amuti training send your day echo to a just say yet me to aba ebio ewo so MP so abekasa edi afa afi asoya wo hwe so and they are to a dry which will say why I found say ye Juma na want to me and born homodeno ye be too sick or say upon wa Sarah Dream Jewelries Amstel Block Machinery and Block Manufacturing Rima Ushering Agency KS Happiness School Limited Amstel Block and Machinery and Block Manufacturing Selling Suite on Round Up Apartment Hotel now for Star Direct Pinyamidi and Mame Ama Bafua, my end I am Smambra. Samo bibia akwa babio na ye hye ensem no asia ye de yeni eba kwa akokyire mu ewo asoye a kyese eba eye inuro eye heba indro ni binu na penimpa woda eye Ghana Association of Medical Herbalists eye Sandra Ishona de ensema ba betu edwa wode ato eye aban enemy se onhwe na wona twese woye bibidro ewo omanmu so no wase wadodo bebro beye se ahenu na mmom no ohwe eye ayaresa bia twese woton sa enuro na anase wodi sa adwuma na amu bebro beye se eduonu enum esane nti omfa wona twese woye sa enuro no enko sa bia se ne be ya apomode mampa so ebetimi akoso
postings via buy into call hospitals no be say more creative centers no but doctors be anywhere herbal doctors be anywhere be to me ahwe sa centers no na mbema Ghana for bibidru and na ohwa aban ankasa law na statistics actually say 80% Ghana for mpe bibidru so mba hospital na mo be two doctor bia hardren enti ye besra aban na mo ma ye clearance ye pa aban cho mo ma ye clearance because mo bebe na fi more than 8 years ache when entity ewie when entity 6 years they said a doctor for no so nya entity ne sa na I herbal for no so nya entity yes
share bedwene air frank esie du beko enso de sama to dwa ho chebu se ohwa afimpuni ni eduonu ennan ana chese titre nya chese oda NDC amanyoko no ano Johnson esie do inkitia de kokobo eko ema won se wanhwe ya yesu hu isawom adreji ni tolon abatwa empeso ane so no obeko abato ebia na se obeto aba ebio ewo ho nenu ana chese openi akasa eho a chese nsem se bi ana wode etu edwa
several comments from the National Democratic Congress. Look, and you IUM able to do Suhum is not for NDC. You have to get it clear. And I here am not intimidated by these irresponsible statements coming from the NDC. So they have to get it clear. Suhum is for the people of Suhum. At every 4 years, the people of Suhum will elect their MP. And it does not lie in the mouth of a certain Ketia or these NDC people to go to Sumu and threaten Sumu for that. There's going to be a nonsense by election. Petition I know no be asem because when you adakem. Why would the some because you could not mount the box. He was not bold. So he could not mount the box. 2. All the polling agents almost 2024 at those polling stations, he could not marshal even one of them to come and witness or give evidence in court. So all those, he said he used coalition agents as his witnesses in court.
Anunti ayesu rashe bedweni Frankisi Dubeko ana wote se wo kase na ye to ayensem no eso osofo ohwe ye na atentene ni ensem so eye Dominic Ayeni ono ode sema ba betu edwa wa brache se kopie mu government accountability series ana chese wode atu edwa Watchable say, in prepare ye say they were then crater, aqua dan US abine se caniswa for, and now was shays casenso cano for reata, and neighbor could be a can who a Mr. Ernest Darkon. You're then crater aqua coma a US abino say, you bet to me, ama one aba or my Ghana has any beya, you bet to me, ama at training, so it's me aye eduma. What they add to a draw watcher musa, Osha a bubu and a busmida to so a do and crom of impinuni, a do new enum, and that OSP a day in same way about to join day, a modern crater, aqua dine a US abino.
On November 19th, 2025, that is this year, my office received a formal request from the Office of the Special Prosecutor to initiate extradition proceedings for Kenneth Oforiatta and Ernest Darkon Akori from the United States of America. Following a preliminary review, our International Cooperation Unit observed that certain aspects of the request required clarification and enhancements to align with the applicable legal and procedural requirements. We communicated these observations to the Office of the Special Prosecutor via a letter dated 25th November 2025 and requested supplementary documentation to ensure completeness. On December 9th, 2025, the Office of the Special Prosecutor provided a requested additional documentation and addressed the observations that we raised, thereby finalizing the extradition request packages. Subsequently, on December 10, 2025, my office transmitted the complete request to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for onward transmission to the competent authorities in the United States of America. That is, in this case, the Department of Justice of the United States. At this point, it is left to the American authorities, especially the judicial authorities, to make a determination on whether a sufficient basis exists for the two accused persons to be extradited to Ghana to stand trial. And because the matters have already been filed, and because they have been filed by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, I am not permitted to go into the details of the charges. But the charge sheet is a public document and has been made available, and all of you, I'm sure, have access to it. There are 78 charges against Honorable Ken Oforiatta and his accomplices, and they border on causing financial loss to the state, using public office for private benefit, and so on and so forth. So you can look at the charge sheet and then make up your minds with respect to the charges. So I won't comment on them in today's press conference. Basically, what I want Ghanaians to know is that this government is committed to accountability, and the government has taken the requisite steps that are legally required for the Honorable Ken Oforiatta and Ernest Darkon Akori to be extradited to Ghana, to be brought to Ghana to face justice.
Enuti Attorney General Dominic Ayini Ekasavi Echre and awarded to a jaw which will say Yoko. I media Modini Nan or Nanka was showing himself Benyas Kabotan say 200 million Ghana cedis. It's a summer bomb who more than empire or Modimano. As Sweeney, Nemamano Aya Ghana buying Arches or Mampeni John Dramani Mahama or that and no Abway Senya Beya, Uncle Far Air Fracadam, and I says Kadiji and so to me and by Juma, 1 ADM, Nemamano, what they are to a jar, what she will say, you deal with dinner, Sika with me in a 133 million Ghana cedis.
Transfers from the criminal cluster to a virtual asset custodian company called Zodiac Custody. Zodiac does work with EOCO to hold the virtual currencies under the control of the applicant, that is EOCO, until the assets were realized in fiat value and transferred into a bank account in the name of the applicant. EOCO then turned to Ghana's judiciary and obtained a High Court order on May 27, 2025, to the effect that OKX should transfer all crypto assets in its custody to Zodiac, and for Zodiac also to realize same into currency, fiat currency, and pay its dollar equivalent into the EOCO exhibit account. Additionally, the High Court ordered that upon the receipt of the funds, EOCO should cater to the victims of the crime. Through this approach, EOCO successfully used our local laws to freeze and recover virtual assets hidden in foreign jurisdictions. As a result, on November 19, 2025, Zodiac Custody successfully converted the said crypto assets of the criminal enterprise and paid same to EOCO's exhibit account in the amount of 15,191,730 United States of American dollars and 13 cents. As demonstrated above, the criminal enterprise targeted our citizens, defrauded them, and laundered the criminal proceeds into cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin, USDT, and Ethereum in an attempt to further hide the proceeds from the reach of Ghana's law enforcement.
Anunti Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayini Nanawo to say or Casano no or the Tuja, which will say a yoko in Shishima, why ye F4 a Ghana for an offense. So among who do F4 say 1 inches away from Kadam, our of my mono, what a chill won't in arches or what she will say, Sika with me, I G a freeze for no and same a year $50 million. Afen so aswaya won share ahundin senso achese oswafo a oda yes adwumeko no ano John Abdullahi Jinapon so ede kokobo ede ama wona achese woda adwumeko do ano se wo hwe ye pa edwumedi a wo edi wo ho no won hwe se periperi so betimi edi mu na edwuma wo ye so ebetimi akone nimpa ye ase se wo a want me ambo humode no obehwe na watumi atu wase akongwa
ewo echiri eno omo esese MTN momo app no se wo bi nko
na CID boss DCOP Lydia Donkon so eden sema to dwa wo twemu se eba asra dom edwuma na awo se yetimi omutimi ebo wo homoden pa edwuma se ne be ya amafo so betimi enya gidie mapa ewo edwuma omudi dani denina.
You will agree with me that the success of criminal prosecution largely depends on effective criminal investigation, and the importance of both cannot be overemphasized. It is for this reason that very distinguished resource persons have been brought together to provide valuable insights to the latest trends and best practices in criminal investigations. Their expertise and contributions will undoubtedly enrich our discussion. The theme for this conference, the current downward trend of police investigations the role of crime officers is particularly relevant as it behoves on us as crime officers to address the challenges that account for the downward trend. As crime officers, you are at the forefront of the battle of ensuring a crime-free Ghana. Your role in gathering evidence, interviewing witnesses, and building solid cases worthy of prosecution is crucial in the justice delivery system of our country. However, the challenges that hinder our efforts, such as limited resources, irregular and inadequate training, as well as the increasing sophisticated nature of crime, makes our work difficult day by day. It is for this reason that this conference has been put together to provide timely education to help us address the challenges that confront us in our fight against crime.
Now, police Adom Hene a Christian Tete Yohonu IGP, and so there is some ato a CID in pedofo enemy say Jumedia would know one bow home modern parcel bit me ako etia catashene proye and ne a Yama and San Fata ewa on my moon. Or they are two a draw which will say, Oba on my moon, acquire say a cardia to say no, a babua ama a yes, crime is an answer, basabasaya, elcoso, ewa on my etimi aton, and I say etimi a channel, and ya dear say will be no moon or babo whom modern pa a year, send a bear, sunny yenu, now so a betra ewa my Ghana.
Now, post sign or Chris.
My engine and same way so na and die on Simaya by a dread demon saying the best.
Company Limited. So we pay blocks machines here air papa. None of bonds so assign a da from a dear. Any na Enwani Amsal Company Limited. Your conveyor blocks machines, hydraulic blocks machines, pallets, any blocks machines in one such using in and nothing so blocks machines are who draw opening in a being so ever ho. To show your chap quite in a year. There was Spinters Road 18 Junction. Yani KFC Dino and a dish anymore. Frey, it was 05,240 and I say 0540-725850. Amstel blocks machines in Papa Pa Efie.
My exam be a crab bio, whether so I share a real print to break Cassia or Cstv. So a dear me just so mammy and my buffua, dear do so ye do SM. Now, o man penny abedi a tree a nana jane nana opoko ajeman, and so in day and our day osebo, and they are boss as swear just a washer a year a deable as 32 9 a year or so for washer deable as Elizabeth or for su ejare, and so with me abon whom modern pa a war a deable as 7 now they are two a drawwood trouble say, and wababo or whom modern pa a year send a bear 1 hour tongue a dear. Of my Ghana had to say no are buying and as a Ghana buy bit to me a boy once in the bear where you may deal with them so a bit to me a demo.
Definitely your ministry also cuts across others. You were talking a lot about raw materials. I'm sure agriculture will have a role to play, so will transport, so many of them. It's one of the things I want all of us to be very, very mindful of, so that we avoid silos. We are also conscious that we are working to others, and I think that also helps us to be even more efficient than necessary. I counted 10 agencies. I don't know if I got the number right, and I got 9 SOEs. I'm also happy to note that you are targeting women and youth. And I don't think that is lost on any of us in this room, why I should be interested in women and youth. Your interest in the rubber. You know, every time I ask myself, okay, if we are importing something, is it possible to break everything down? Let's say aboboya, just for example. What are the parts? Is there one thing we can do? Must we get the finished products, or is there something we can contribute? Even if just one small item, we can add another and another, and before you know, we are making the whole thing. So these are some of the things that I think about sometimes. So I'm very happy about the tires. You can't import the car and then the tire and everything. What else are we going to import next? You know, we train so many people, and they're not doing anything because we are, you know, the things they can do are being, you know, supplied by someone else. All of this will have to stop. I remember those days when we supported local production of rice, and you could see made in Ghana rice everywhere, the banners. We need to get back to that.
Now, when you say a penny for the other two, a dry will say artificial intelligence, I have read to say AI, no, what they call a year portal who was in a bear, a bet to me, Abuana, a jubidia, ye de our portal, so it's be according him. Nende and natural say Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana and Pinafore, a day about to a dry will say, and you shall just say a bit before a day abano, and ya dear say about what they be a now my auntie dear a year opening something as a key a day instead a day at 2 a Janibi.
Reports from port authorities indicate that operational reforms, including the 24-hour terminal operations, have improved cargo handling capacity and throughput. When we say throughput, meaning the containers that are coming into the country and going out, making Tema Port more competitive as a regional hub. Continuous operations have enhanced clearance and offer tangible trade facilitation benefits for importers and exporters. The abolition of the COVID-19 levy and the VAT reforms, we want to thank government for that. We commend the government action in removing the 1% COVID levy, health recovery levy, and adjusting the VAT rate from about 21.9% to 20% under the 2026 tax reform structure, and aim at supporting businesses' competitiveness. These changes are expected to ease financial burdens on traders and restore confidence in Ghana port competitiveness. In the period under review, the Ghanaian cedi has demonstrated relative stability and appreciations against the US dollar, strengthening from previous period of severe depreciation. As of mid-December 2025, the official Bank of Ghana interbank exchange rate is approximately 11.48. The AI-driven automation, pre-arrival inspections, and cargo data verification system, however, based on all available public records, and our investigation shows that there has no documented prior technical expertise in port automation or AI system publicly available, because I told you the company was just established in 28th December. So there is no any track record to show me, to prove to me that they work in this country, in that country, in that country, and so they are bringing the same system into Ghana here, and so it will be the panacea. There are currently no verifiable record of revenue that they've collected before. As I mentioned, that I could be able to reach $3 billion for us. I have not seen any historical precedent like that. Operational achievement, they have not been in any country and work. Project portfolio, I have not seen an award or press coverage demonstrating competence in similar large-scale implementation.
My engineer say we so na yenda yon sima yeba ye de amano ne nsem so beso.
Company Limited. So who per blocks machines here air papa. None bonso assign edda former dia. Any na enwani Amsel Company Limited. Your conveyor blocks machines, hydraulic blocks machines, pallets, any blocks machines in one accessories in and nothing so blocks machines are who draw opening in a bin so ewo. To show your chap wine in a year. There was Spinters Road 18 Junction. Yani KFC Dino and a din share nimu. Freye, it was 05,240 and I say 0540-725850. Amstel blocks machines in papa pa efie.
Meda se afe so my uncle obi my so se me ka say the Russia etimi ade to pay bi akwa akọbọ adan kraba se adan krabi a chese ewo ho me ka say the nipa be se duasa enum afe mu ato anananum ewo ense do a chese emofra kuma so eka ho ebie we ne esem a chese mpanifo ede ebetu edwa enu bie. Afe mayembo nremu ewo agudie mu ensemu se me ka say die ade se obekaya infisha wo twini na chese yan company for pese ye bede ye foto agudie mu foto betimi abase ne be agudie mu se ewo omaiga na hanso betimi akoso nende ade se omotimi omone kodan parliament anasem na hwebedwe no omotimi apase ama chese ndey ejuma.
Speaker, ordinarily we would have considered this as just an addition, but it is not just an addition. Like the chairman of the committee said, in the initial consideration, the draft, we had them in, but in the course of the process, it became necessary and expedient to take them out. So, Speaker, if you look at the regulation that we developed for the Sports Regulation 2023, the LI 2477, it made provision for Ghana Olympics Committee, and we also have National Paralympic Committee. Immediately, you begin to travel that journey, like the leader of the House indicated. You will see the NPC also begin to demand. Then you see other groups start demanding. We wanted to avoid such a situation that they stay out of the fund, run the federations in an organized manner. You have the fund that is managed and it goes in there to support them. The National Sports Authority, which superintends over all these groups, is captured in the membership of the governing board. And we think that the way it is, it serves us that purpose. So I think we should keep it this way. As we move on, we can begin to think about future additions. But for now, I beg my Deputy Whip to let us keep it the way it is. Thank you.
Members, motion moved and seconded. It is for the consideration of the House. I will therefore put a question. As many as are in favor of the motion number 31 at page 16 of the main order paper say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted.
Now, when you say Abrante, your friend is Francis Sabu O'Praye, Nende, I dare say GFA, a day Ababetu, a dra, or will say, I dare say Abrante, whom act on a pa a year now, a year to live, a FC, in Petty Force, when they are betu a dra, or will say, I'm sure you are 2026 World Cup on to me in Siakaimbi.
Doing very, very well. He had a successful surgery. Some of us are in constant touch with him. He's looking lively. Yes, at the beginning, he looked very frightened, you know. And I was at the scene, giving us loads of information. We are always in touch with him. Last week, he started gym work, which looks very good. He's now on the bike, trying to work on his knees, his thighs, and then the lower body. He will continue the rehabilitation in the gym for a number of weeks, and then hopefully, if things go according to plan, he will start his individual work on the pitch gradually, and we're hoping that he will get back to his best. But medical issues are not things you can put out or you can put in the public domain. So we knew what was going on, we knew what we had been promised, but we just needed to take steps to ensure that he goes through the right rudiments and not rush information out. So you realize that periodically we've been putting out information about Francis, and that is with a medical advice. He is fine. The most important thing is that he's looking good and he's in a high spirit.
After my own remo, I will immediate demo and say, now in say US are by no area, say, I TikTok, not to say, well, Baby, ye free or cross any bear. I'm out to me, Uncle Honko, the Asanin, my Ekekahu. Then they are make us say, I TikTok. Near Chess, a TikTok, a dear by dance, and so it is about to do which was a word almost aqua a yentia say upper match, say, one notch, so what it was a baby shable so a baby wapama a year a TikTok also. It's me, a Janan and also pumping. After my young dear home, a buy a day a year a year musacha, so ever so. But I say now, if you move such a yoba mangana, Hanu say, I dear sir, if you are a bebo pa a year now face Mununko, so it's me at all. Now make us say, dear, oko a real way, a con in Remono, I dear say you so better talk a cry now face so, oko a northern region, a year if you don't man table swat, send ya a year, if you move such a year, a see a ten a sap pepe and a woho. Ewe busiafo Hassan Erika say ya boabo anu ni nano yedi ebesi ewa ha Sarah's Dream Jewelries Amsel Block Machinery and Block Manufacturing KS Performance Co Limited Amsel Block and Machinery and Block Manufacturing Crystal Direct Shop omo eno musa ya sinde ya